Now you and Kevin were friends then, you mentioned?
Yeah.
Did you take it to him and say, hey, I think I'm gonna try to get into that?
I didn't even tell him.
Why?
I don't know. I always wanted to be the type where if I'm gonna get good at it, he's gonna hear about me. And that's what happened. Once he heard I was doing comedy, he called me.
So in this time of like being in school, are you doing comedy at this point at all?
When I was at Temple was when I first started doing comedy. Right after 2001, I believe. Yeah, it was right after 9/11. It was right after 9/11 when I started. Yeah.
Did 9/11 have anything to do with what made you transition?
Nah,
okay.
not at all.
So what was it? What was the thing?
2000, I watched The Kings of Comedy in the movies. And leaving out the movie theater, a bunch of people that I knew seemed to say, man, when you go get on that stage? Because I was always told I should be a comedian since elementary school.
Right.
And I was like, that ain't for me. But my friend Kevin at the time was doing comedy.
Gotcha.
So I did have a friend that was doing it, but I still didn't look at it as, I'm gonna be a stand-up comedian. Nah, I'm gonna just play ball, go to college and do what I do, that's all.
Right. So the energy of being a comedian to me has changed. Mm-hmm. At one point, you're kind of more reflecting on, comedy wasn't taken as seriously as it is, I think, now.
Right.
People understand you can make money, you can make an occupation.
Right.
You can provide for your family off of jokes. It's a different energy. A lot of people trying to be comedians now. So back then, did you feel like it was kind of corny? When you looked at it, was it just something like, nah, that's...
I don't know. I just didn't look at it as an occupation, I guess. I didn't look at it as an occupation. I just looked at it as, hey, I'm funny right here, so I gotta be funny on stage. What's the difference?
Right.
Like, this one I knew I could be a comedian, though. I remember being in middle school, and I would say jokes in class, and it would travel around the whole school, and people that wasn't in my class would come to me, yo, I heard you said this and did this to the teacher or did this to a student. I'm like, how is that getting back to you? So I already had people like going back and telling people like how funny I was. So I've definitely been getting it a long time. But to go back to your other question, I think the transition, how I got into comedy was when I was at Temple and I was a theater major. And in theater majors, all dramas, all serious roles, but all the roles I got, I would make them funny. So the professor definitely said, hey man, you have a natural knack for comedy, you should try to do stand-up. I think that was the first time I got the click in my head to really try, because I looked at him as a professional, he was teaching us how to act, so he told me I had it, so that's what transitioned me into doing stand-up.
Now you and Kevin were friends then, you mentioned? Did you take it to him and say, hey, I think I'm gonna try to get into that?
I didn't even tell him.
Why?
I don't know. I always wanted to be the type where if I'm gonna get good at it, he's gonna hear about me. And that's what happened. Once he heard I was doing comedy, he called me.